Hi, it's Sean from Martin & Co. Here I'm catching up with Anita from Leamington Wine Company, talking about all great things wine and independent business. Hi, I'm here with Anita from the Leamington Wine Company in follow-on to our series of talking about why it's great to live, to work and to be shopping in Leamington Spa. Why did you set up in Leamington Spa?
Well, it was a personal reason to move here because I've had 3 businesses before. And obviously all the same businesses, and I decided I needed a change. I was single, I looked and I heard about how vibrant it was in the Midlands, so I came here. But I moved into Warwick, living there, and it took me a good 9 months to find the right shop. Obviously it's really important to find the right location that feeds you with a meat company or a flower shop or a fruit and veg, you know, and parking outside. So it could take you years to get that right one, but it's so important. That's why I'm still in business 10 years now, because people can pull up and we've got a good footfall here as well.
Now let's talk a bit more about the footfall. With Martin & Co at our estate agency, we enjoy Leamington people. There's a great vibe. Everybody seems to enjoy quality of life. And what about here? Do you find the same thing?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the vibe. I mean, people support one another as well, which is wonderful. Footfall is fantastic. Everyone's friendly from bottom end all the way to the top end. People who have money, people who don't have so much money. So we try to help with whatever they have themselves, what they want to spend. But outside, the shops, for one thing, is brilliant. They're all independent. You do not get that very rarely. So that's why Leamington is brilliant in the sense of vibe, you know.
One thing I've always enjoyed here is the service, the customer service. I tend to find, I think that I know what I'm talking about when I walk in your door, and then realise when I get advice, which is usually spot on, about what to buy, what not to buy. Have you always done that? Do you always look after everybody?
Everyone that comes in, we let them have a few minutes to themselves, and then we help out with them. Oh, can I have your advice? And you know, and we just go from what they want to spend, what they're looking for, what they like to drink, or if it's a gift, especially a gift, and that's where our free gift wrapping comes involved as well. So, but the people are wonderful, yes.
And speaking from a kind of a naive point of view, what amazes me here is the vast wine range. It's absolutely incredible. Is it purchased to serve all levels, or? It
is. You learn from your customers. So I mean, you've got your key points with every shop I've been into, because obviously I was North Wales. It was obviously quite money orientated to a certain point. And then obviously they like the finer wines, but here it's more finer wines, but the happy, chappy, cheapy drinking, weekly drinking. That's what helps.
And can people come here for a taste of different wines? How does that work?
Yeah. So we have a tasting machine. So we don't charge for that service. So if people say, "Oh, I'm after," I don't like Chardonnay, but I want something unoaked, or I want a Sauvignon, but I don't like Sauvignon. So we go to the tasting machine, and and then they can taste free of charge, and we just talk a little bit about it. And then usually it's not just one bottle they purchase, usually purchase 2. So it's a good upsell for us.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But in the future, we're going to do wines by the glass. So people can choose and buy a glass of wine if they want to, and sit down and have a glass.
And how would somebody like myself get involved in that? Have I got to become a member of a club, or
there will be a members club? There will be a members club with a limit of 50 people total, and they have to book in. But through the week, when we decide, we've not quite decided on the hours as such, but business people like yourself, if you've got a client and you want to have a little lunch, a nice glass of wine or a glass of fizz, you know, that's where we are. We have a big list as well, so make it comfortable.
Obviously, with a good wine goes good food. Have you got any associations in the area that you tie up with through events?
Yes, Aubrey Allen. So we do a lot of events with them. We do barbecue events, we do Christmas events with them, but also when we do have wine tastings in here, which this becomes a long table, we seat 20 people, and then they do their cheeses and tapas boards for us, so that works really good.
On the wine tasting front, 2020, is there anything going on worth noting in the diary?
We've not put dates. We've got a gin tasting at the end, which is the end, I think it's the last Friday of January. And then we kick in, then we have a champagne tasting for Valentine's in February. Then we'll have, every other week, there'll be a wine tasting going on. And also we do wine flights each week for people, small amounts of people who want to just learn a little bit about wines, up to 8 people we do, and it's an hour service, and it's really good. But we do annually, we do a big Christmas tasting, which we've just done now. We do a big gin tasting, gin festival we call it. We also do the Art in the Park. We get involved with the local events, Art in the Park and the food festival. So we have our own, we seat 50 people for that, so we make it a big event. And we have a champagne bar.
On the gin tasting front, it's clearly a very fashionable drink at the moment.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many varieties. The days are gone when you can just get a straight gin and tonic.
Yeah.
How's that happen? Is it tasting Leamington? Is people getting involved in it?
Oh, everybody's involved in it. I mean, it started off with everybody just knew Gordon's and Bombay Sapphire, and then suddenly all these little distillers came along and started to make and introduce their own what went in. Then it became the gin liqueurs became very popular. Now that seems to be slowing down, and it's back to the nice, dry style gins again, because people want to put their own little bit to it, like the fruit, the slice, and the different tonics that's out now. So, but it's massive here. Yeah, we do sell. I mean, upsell gins now it's about 30% of our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just sell a local gin.
Yes, we've got Leamington on Parade, we've got the Peanut Gin, we've got Chesford Gardens, which have just, they were here on Saturday doing a tasting for us, that's just up the road as well. So we do the Cotswolds, we do every local gin that we can support. Gin. Yeah, it is. It's lovely. Yeah, and a rum as well. We do the New Bold rum, spiced rum that's just arrived. So landed on our shelves this week. So we're really.
I might be back then to try that.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. It's a bit fiery. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. Let's talk a bit more about longevity of your business. I find it incredible. I love to see people independent be successful. I noticed you've been here since 2010. Yeah. What would you put that down to? You're
changing all the time, learning your customers is the big thing, and what they want as well. So we do lots of tastings and search out the wines for value for money, and but it is what your customers need. Like to change things over. Being independent, we can do that. We don't stick to one wine and say that's it for the year. We're changing constantly. We have at least 10 new wines a week that come in, and we just say to a customer, oh, you like this, but why don't you try this for a change? So we get lots of customers that come in and say, go and pick us 6 wines, £20 to £30 a bottle, or even less sometimes, and we know, and that's how we go. So it is getting to know your customer. It's all about service. Again, where we came from with Leamington, everybody gives a good service in Leamington.
Absolutely. Talk to me about, I love to learn different subjects, and my passion is wine. I enjoy it with a nice glass of wine. For a Sunday lunch, it's Italian.
You're like, we'll go to the Italian section.
I'm a big fan of Italian wine. So, talk to me about a Sunday lunch. What would be good value, a good red or a good white first?
Yeah, for about £10 to £15. Yes, because if you go to a restaurant, for instance, and you buy you have a nice meal, then your wine is say £30 to £40, where you could get the same wine for £10 to £12 in here. So for me, I love to stay at home and have a Sunday lunch. I also like to support people as well, but I would probably go for this is a big favourite of ours. It's £18.50, but it's stunning. It's Primitivo, so that means Zinfandel. So it's from Puglia. It is a lovely, big, juicy red, so go with that beef dinner, even chicken as well, and it's great to drink on its own. So that is one of my stars.
Fabulous.
Okay, and that's Italian, so as you know.
Nice.
Whites, I think I'll probably go for something maybe classic, maybe either the Polyfume. This one here, this is on offer at the moment at £17.50, but this Le Champ Divines means it's old vines, so it's from a single estate as well, so it's got that nice typical Sauvignon Blanc that people love, but without being New Zealand. Everyone's into New Zealand service, but they're coming away from that. They want something a little bit more mineral style, but not too zappy, but very classic. So that's a nice one for a Sunday lunch.
That looks fabulous.
It goes with fish, it goes with any kind of meat as well, so that's wonderful. And me, I've got to have bubbles on a Sunday. I'm a bubble girl, unfortunately, but I would go for, this is from Cremont, it's from the Loire, so this is really soft, it's delicate, it's got lots of nice fine bubbles in it, and for £20, sorry, it's stunning. That's how I'd start my Sunday off with. And then, obviously, to share, otherwise I wouldn't get to my dinner or cook it very well. So that is my choice of what I would have for a Sunday roast.
So, Anita, I've really enjoyed the chat. I'm going to pick you up on that recommendation and come back for that.
Brilliant.
And I'd just say to anybody in this area, anybody in search of good wines for dinner through the winter period, this is clearly the place to come. It's great service, and it's a one-to-one service when you come in, and you usually get great recommendations.
Oh, thank you. I mean, obviously, with the labels, we do a description. So if we're very busy or if people don't want to feel intimidated, they'll read the label and think, "Oh, I like the sound of that," and take it up and purchase that. Also, in our shop, as you can see, we've got vegan, we've got low sulphur. We have, because it's quite a big trend now. A lot of people are vegetarian, especially the young generation now that's coming through, and people who are have reactions to sulphur. We do a lot of natural wines as well as low sulphur. So I think this is why we survive. We try and keep on pushing what's going forward with the fashion. You can't stay behind. You've just got to keep on going.
Under the heading of learning, how is a wine a vegan wine?
A vegan wine, so basically it's no filtration in it, so there's no fish blood, there's no egg whites, there's none of, so it's just all natural.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah,
Okay.
and organic means it's organically, no sprays, so it's not messed with at all. So all our wines, we know where they come from, how small the vineyards are, and we particularly don't buy any bulk wine, so it doesn't come over in a tank, it comes from the vineyard itself and usually bottled over there as well.
Stunning, stunning. Great service.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.